1, section 5, adding integers. Everybody have these notes in their notebook. The warm-up questions that you have at the beginning of your notes. We are supposed to use greater than, less than, or equal to compare each of those values. On a number line, which would be bigger, a positive 4 or a negative 4? A positive 4. So your inequality sign is being the positive 4. Between negative 3 and positive 3, which is bigger? Positive 3. How about negative 6 and negative 2? Which one's closer to 0?
Negative 2.
Negative 2 would be bigger. Positive 6 and negative 6?
Positive 6.
And a negative 4 and a negative 4?
Equal.
They are equal to each other. Is it true that a positive is always bigger than a negative?
No.
A positive number is always bigger than a negative number. That's a true statement. Anything that's positive is bigger than a negative. All right, addition of opposites. The sum of an integer and its opposite is going to be 0. In other words, what this is saying is if I add 1 plus a negative 1, I get back to 0. 5 plus a negative 5 is going to get me back to 0. Think about that on a number line. If I had 5 plus a negative 5, I would go to 5, right? Plus 5 negatives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, gets me back to the number 0. So if you add a number and its opposite, the answer is always going to equal 0. Or I could give you 4 pieces of candy and then I take 4 pieces of candy away, you have 0 pieces of candy. Well, you know, sometimes it happens, right? We've all had those people that are like, here, you can have 2. No, you can't. And they take them away. 0. All right. Adding integers with the same sign. The sum of 2 positive integers is positive. So 4 plus 5 is 9. Hasn't this always been a positive plus a positive? You still have a positive answer, right? Well, the same is true with negatives. If you add a negative 4 plus a negative 5, you have a really big negative now. So this would be like a diver swimming down 4 feet from the boat and then swimming down 5 feet from the boat. Well, how far below the boat is he?
9 feet.
He's 9 feet below the boat now. He's at a negative 9 for a value. Adding integers with different signs. So this is the one that kids struggle with the most. Our directions say, find the difference of their absolute values. The sum has the sign of the integer with the greatest absolute value. How many of you are going, Mrs. Fleming, I have no clue what you just said. It's confusing, isn't it? So this is what I want you to do. Do you see how you have 5 plus a negative 6? They're different, right? One's positive, one's negative. So you're going to subtract. What is 6 minus 5?
1.
1. So you're going to put 1 on the blank here. Now, which one is a bigger number without a positive or negative sign? Is a 5 a bigger number or is 6 a bigger number?
6.
The 6 is a bigger number without the negative sign. In this case, the negative was there, correct?
Yes.
So because 6 is a bigger number and is negative, my answer is going to be negative. Now, on a number line, would you look at this, please? We had 5 plus a negative 6. So I start at 0 and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to a positive 5, right? Now I'm going to add 6 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I ended at negative 1 because when I added a negative, I had to go backwards to the left. A negative 5 plus 6. Well, now let's start at a negative 5 on a number line, and we're going to add 6 positives. If I'm going to add 6 positives, which way do I go? Back to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I end at a positive 1. So again, I can still say that I've got 6 minus 5, which is 1. But in this case, the 6 is a bigger number and it's positive, so my answer is going to be positive. That's the one we're going to practice the most. So, we're going to practice this on a number line. I've already given you your number line. We're going to show how this looks for 4 plus 3. So on your number line, we're going to start at 0, and we're going to draw a line. and we're going to add 4 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put our line in there to show that positive 4. Now, we added 3 more positives to that, right? So we took 4 steps forward. We're going to take an additional 3 steps forward. So starting at this 4, we're going 1, 2, 3. What number do you end at?
7.
So 4 plus 3 is a positive 7. Let's do it with negatives. Now, what number should I always start from?
0.
We always start from 0. So we're going to go from 0 to a negative 2. And what are you adding to that? 6 more negatives. So we have to continue to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You added 6 more negatives. So from a negative 2, you go 6 more negative lines to the left. What is a negative 2 plus a negative 6? Is a negative 8 for a solution. Questions on that? Next one, 5 plus a negative 3. What number should we start with? Start with 0, and we're going to go 5 positives. Let me straighten out my line a little bit. So from 0 to 5 is our 5 positives. Now what? Because I'm supposed to add 3 negatives. I take away 3, meaning I go which direction? Am I going to continue to the right or turn around and go left? We're going to turn around and go left to show those 3 negatives now. So I'm going to have to go above this to show my next step. And I have to go back 3. So to the left, 1, 2, 3. What number do you end at? Where do we end at? We end at a positive 2. 5 plus a negative 3. Now, that rule that I talked about before, 1 is positive, 1 is negative, correct? When 1 is positive, 1 is negative, subtract them. What is 5 minus 3? 2. Now, which is bigger? The 5 or the 3? The 5 is bigger and it's positive, so my answer is positive. Negative 4 plus 7. Where are we going to start? And go to negative 4. Then it says we're adding 7 positives. So now what are we going to do? We're going to go to the right 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4 gets me back to 0. 5, 6, 7 puts me at 3. What value do you end at? You end at 3. Again, one's negative, one's positive. So if they do not match, we subtract. So that 7 minus 4 is 3, which is bigger, a 7 or a 4? 7 is bigger and it's positive, so my answer is also positive. Using chips or using tiles. This is another way that you can understand the same type of question. So in your notes, if you want to highlight the black ones as pink with a highlighter and the clear ones with your yellow, it would match what I have up on the board. So the black ones are pink, the clear ones are yellow. something is in the red. Has anybody ever heard that? Something is in the red. If they're in the red, they're losing money. A stop sign means caution or stop or a warning or something ahead, right? If I have red lights flashing, that's not really a good sign, is it? Well, that red is not very good in math either, because red oftentimes reflects something negative here. In this case, if it's red, it's reflecting negative numbers. Our yellow is reflecting positive numbers. So this 2 plus a negative 5, I have 2 positives. Eyes on the board, please. 2 positives, and I have 5 negatives, correct? Now, in this particular case, remember I told you the very first question that we had, that if you have 2 numbers that are being added together, and they are opposite signs, one's positive and one's negative, they get you back to 0. So watch what happens. If I take one red and one yellow, doesn't that mean 0? A positive and a negative. So if I take this positive and I take this negative, that's also a 0. So what's left behind? 3 reds, which is a negative 3 for a solution. You don't have this one in your notes, okay? This is just for me to demonstrate on the board. Now, remember what I said before. One's positive, one's negative. So you subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3, which is bigger, a 5 or a 2? 5, and it's negative, so your answer is also negative. Okay, so this one's the one you have in your notes, correct? So we have a negative 7 plus 3, and I told you that if you wanted to, you could take out your highlighter, and you could highlight in yellow those that were clear. So some of you maybe did it for all of them. Where's my highlighter again? I'm going to use this purple light to be my pink. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I made a mistake. Let me fix that here. I know what happens. I'm human.
Really? Wait, you're human?
I know, surprise.
I thought you were a brain machine.
I thought you were all.
Alright,
Like you're talking.
using the tiles to add the integers. So we have a negative 7 plus 3. Here's my 7 negatives plus 3 positives. Notice they've circled the 3 positives and they've circled 3 negatives to take those away. So if all of this is taken away because it equals 0, how many tiles are left?
4.
There are 4 negative tiles left. So a negative 7 plus a positive 3 is a negative 4. Again, let's apply that concept we were talking about before. One is negative, one's positive, so subtract. 7 minus 3 is 4, which is a bigger number, the 7 or the 3? And that is negative, so my answer is also negative. Down here, using the tiles to find each sum. Take one negative and partner it with one positive to remove those. Circle your one negative and one positive to remove them. What are you left with? You're left with 3 positives for an answer. One's negative, one's positive, subtract them. 4 minus 1 is 3. Which is bigger, 4 or 1? 4, and it's positive, so your answer is also positive. 7 plus a negative 3. Now we're going to take these 3 reds and partner it with 3 yellows to remove that. What are you left with? 4 what? You're left with 4 positives. Again, one's positives, one's negative. So 7 minus 3 is 4. 7's bigger and it's positive, so my answer is positive. Negative 2 plus negative 2 is going to be negative 4. You have 2 negatives plus 2 more negatives. You have a total of 4 negatives. It only cancels when you had 2 red and 2 yellow. So this is 2 reds plus 2 more reds. So you have a total of 4 reds. Or you spent $2 and then you turned around and spent another $2. You lost or spent a total of $4. Going back to a number line. From the surface, a diver goes down 20 feet and then comes back up 4 feet. Find a -20 plus 4 to find where the diver is. So we're going to start at 0 to represent -20. Move left how many units? We're going to move left 20 units. So here's our diver swimming down 20 feet. So our diver, 0 is the boat. He swims down 20 feet, so go down to a -20. Then it says he comes back up 4 feet. So from that 20, we have to turn around and go back what direction?
Right.
To the right. How many feet? 4 feet. Well, notice we were going by 2's the whole time. 0, -2, -4, -6, -8, -10, -12, -14, -16, -18, -20. So if I go 2, 4, because each dash is worth 4 feet, correct? So that was coming back up 4 feet. Where is that diver at? He's at 16, and mine doesn't line up very well when I stand inside. Let me fix that here, as I stand in front of it. To add 4 positive, move right, how many units? 4 units to the number? Number -16. So a -20 plus 4 is -16. The diver is 16 feet below the surface. The diver is 16 feet below the surface. Notice we don't say the diver is a -16 feet, right? We say he's 16 feet below the surface level. Again, one's negative, one's positive, so they're opposites of each other. 20 minus 4 would be 16, which is bigger, 20 or 4? 20. That is negative, so your answer is also negative. Using the order of operations. So, you do not have this one in your notes, so just follow along on the board, please. Pencils down, eyes on the board. Use the order of operations to find a -7 plus a -4 plus a +13 plus a -5. So this is all one gigantic addition question, right? Why do you suppose they have the -4 in parentheses and the -5 in parentheses? Caitlin.
So it doesn't look like plus minus?
Yeah, it's protecting that value, correct? They want us to be aware that this is a -4, so they put it in parentheses, so it doesn't look like an addition sign and a subtraction sign right next to each other. So we have to work left to right. What is a -7 plus 4 more negatives? -11. So the sum of the 2 negatives, integers, is -11. Now, we have a -11 plus 13. They don't match, do they? One's positive, one's negative. So subtract 13 minus 11 is 2. See how they're doing the subtraction? 13 minus 11 is 2. Which number, the 11 or the 13 is bigger? So since 13 has the greater absolute value, this answer is going to be positive. Now, I have 2 plus -5. Again, they don't match, do they? What is 5 minus 2, August?
-3.
So 5 minus 2 is just 3, which is the bigger number in this case. -5, so because that is bigger and it's negative, my answer is negative, correct? Absolute value of 5 minus 2 is 3. Since the 5 has the greater value, the sum is going to be negative in this case. So our final answer should equal -3. Back into your notes. Pick up your pencils, please. Oh, no, wait. I didn't give you this one either. So help me solve this one. Actually, let's have you and your partner solve it. They've given you a number line to reference if you need to. I want you to solve 2 plus -6. Turn and tell your partner what your solution is. Logan and Emily, you two partner up, and you're going to tell me. 2 plus -6.
And C was
This one right here. 2 plus -6. Okay. 5. 2 plus a -6. Do your signs match? No, they don't. So what's 6 minus 2? 4. 6 minus 2 is 4. Which is bigger, 2 or 6? 6 is bigger. It's negative, so my answer is negative. Okay, with your partner, -4 plus 9. No. Are they the same sign? Right. So it's 9 minus 4. Okay, which is bigger, 4 and 9. Which is bigger, 4 and 9. 9, so is that positive or negative? So your answer's negative. Positive 5. -4 plus 9. Are your signs the same? No, one's negative and one's positive, right? So you have to subtract. What's 9 minus 4? 5. What's bigger, 4 or 9? 9. It is positive, so my answer is also positive. And -5 plus -1 is going to be? -6. This could be our diver, swimming down 5 feet and then swimming down another foot. He is a total of 6 feet below the surface. This one is in your notes. The earthquake monitor in Hokley, Texas is located in a salt mine at an elevation of a -416 meters. The elevation of an earthquake monitor in Pinyon Flat, California is 1,696 meters, higher than the monitor in Hokley. Find the elevation of the monitor in Pinyon Flat. So we have a -416 meters, and we are climbing up. It says it is 1,696 meters higher, correct? So if it's 1,696 meters higher, isn't that an addition question? So everybody should write down -416 plus 1,696. Well, this one isn't so easy to solve in my head, is it? So how can I solve this question to find out how many meters this is? Because I'm not allowed to use my calculator on this assignment today. So what would I do? Other way, bigger number first, -416. 6 minus 6, everybody. 9 minus 1. 6 minus 4. And 1 minus nothing? So there is a difference of 1,280. What is our label? Meters. 1,280 meters is our answer. Questions on this assignment? Okay, take out your books. Open up to page 27 and 28. You're doing 2 through 70, the evens.